I'm talking with Neil Carrington. He's the CEO of Act for Kids, and he's got a great story to tell about leading change and leading for vision. Neil?
Yeah, I guess, Jill, we were chatting before about the little badge that you might see on my chest, and thought I might share a little story about why I wear that badge. I coach a lot of leaders in different sectors, in the health sector, in the education sector, and also in the big end of town. And one of the things that I try and encourage my leaders to understand is that they need to be able to tell the story. They need to be able to tell the story of the business that they're in. So the reason I wear my badge is that people usually ask me, well, what's that? Because if you look on my badge, it just says ACT for kids. So people often think we're a theatre company from Canberra. And so that's, sometimes a fatal mistake, and they ask me, what does that badge do? I was recently on not recently, it was probably about 18 months ago now, on a Qantas flight, and a Qantas fellow asked me, what's that all about? Now Qantas is one of our major supporters, and it's about being able to tell that story of the business that you're in. I've been with our charity now probably over 3.5 years. When I arrived there, one of the things I asked people, I said, well, what's our mission, guys? Why are we here? And they said, oh, we look after abused and neglected kids. And I said, yeah, that's great. I said, but do we do any prevention? Do we just wait around for kids to get harmed? Oh yeah, we do prevention too. And it wasn't that they weren't doing it, they weren't clear about the mission, like the why, the purpose of your whole being. So we unpacked that for a little bit, and now all of my people are very clear about what our mission is, and it should be something that you can state in 1 or 2 sentences. And our mission, for example, is to prevent and treat child abuse and neglect. It's as simple and as important as that, and being able to state that very clearly. The other thing that I spent some time with people was the notion of vision. And to me, and it's not, vision's not something you put on a bit of butcher's paper on the wall, or laminate and whatever. It's about what would you see happening if you achieve your mission, if you actually deliver on your mission. And when I asked people in our organisation, they wanted to be the biggest charity in Australia. Some wanted to be the biggest charity in the world. I said, I think that's an appalling vision. Yeah. I think we should ask ourselves, what would we see happening? And when we threw that around for a while, and again, it's no good me coming up the answer, it's got to be a shared vision. We worked out that what we want to see happening is that kids have a happy and safe childhood. Not too much to ask, I think. So that's our vision. Mm-hmm. And then the logical progression from that is, well, how do you actually achieve that? And you need an aspirational vision, in other words, something that is almost a utopian view, but then you need an operational vision. Okay, what you need to do right here, right now, in the next 1 year, the next 3-year iteration, or for some organisations reaching out 5 and 10 years. So that's about your strategic imperatives, and being very clear and very aligned about what those imperatives might be. Another classic thing that I see people sometimes misunderstanding is we don't like conflict. I don't like conflict with my people. Again, that really worries me when I hear that. It's not that I want to wake up and have a fight with everyone every morning, but I think that conflict's a good thing. It's about people being able to disagree, and I make a very clear distinction between what I call agreement and alignment. So when I meet with my leadership team, I want some disagreement. I want some banging on the table. I want some passion. I want people to be able to argue for a point of view. But when we make a call, when we make a decision that we're going this way or that way, that's when I expect alignment. And I think that's badly misunderstood in many organisations. And so I quite often say to people, if you tell me your leadership team's always in agreement, I say it's time for you to put the hush puppies on and get the hell out of there, because you're in big trouble. So that's, I guess, a couple of themes that I try and explore. And the badge is about, I guess, engaging people and helping people understand where you're coming from. But it's also about marketing yourself well. And I do a lot of work in schools, lots of work in hospitals, and it's not something they do particularly well. The Courier Mail's over there. If you pick it up, look at the front couple of pages, there's always a bad story about schools or hospitals. And if you actually work in schools, you actually go into a hospital, fantastic things happen there every day. Mm. And we've got to seize back that agenda, and that's what I speak with my leaders about, is that they need to retake that agenda, and they actually need to understand how to use the marketplace to tell their story and get those messages across. You go and ask 10 people on the street what was their most recent experience in a hospital, they'll tell you it's fantastic. Ask people about their local school, they love their local school. You get the odd crazy teacher, or you get the odd rogue principal, but by and large they're great places. There's good lessons happening out there every day, but people don't get to hear about that. So that's where I encourage my people and people that I work with is to make sure that they know how to tell their story, and that they know how to tell it with passion.
Sounds like a good story.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Neil. Do you want to tell us a bit more about if people would like to donate to Act for Kids or be involved, what could they do?
Sure. If you just go to our website, which is just www.actforkids, all one word, have a look at the work we do. We run 5 safe houses right across Cape York, so we work in all the remote Indigenous communities up there. We employ over 80 Indigenous staff up there on the Cape. We have centres on the Gold Coast, centres here in Brisbane. So yeah, just jump online is probably the best way rather than me boring everyone too much. Obviously I'm passionate about what I do, and I think my people do amazing work.
Yep.
So thanks for the opportunity to have a chat with you people.
Well, thanks for talking to us today. That's great.